Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Okay, if you want to hop in, you go ahead.
I'll just sit here and chill.
Okay, well, welcome to the podcast. This is Kacey, and I'm actually here with three very special guests. 4 special guests. I'm here with my best friend Brandon Rodriguez, with his wife Devon, who's pregnant. How many months are you?
Like 7.
7 months with a baby girl and their son Silas.
Say hi, Silas. No?
No. And I even have Anna Paula sitting here and kids playing. So
A little family gathering.
So for those who don't know who Brandon is, we're gonna just tell how we met, and you could hop in whenever you want.
For sure, I mean, I could stop. Yeah, we moved out, like me and my family moved out when I was like 4. Right?
To Utah,
4,
right?
yeah,
From California.
4,
Yeah.
because you were 5.
Yeah.
And we moved to Ogden, and I remember the first day it was terrible because we were moving our stuff out, and our TV got stolen while we were like moving stuff in.
Welcome to Ogden.
Right?
Right.
Welcome to Utah.
Like, I thought we just left California for a reason.
But then, I think we were there for like a few months, and then we moved to Quail Cove.
Yeah,
I remember that first day, dude. It was that little playground, remember?
Yeah.
That little playground. I went in by myself because I think Randy wasn't even born, and Jasmine was like a baby. She was like 2.
Yeah, those are your brothers and sisters.
Yeah. And then went to that little playground in the middle of the complex, whatever. And you're up on I think you were in the balcony, weren't you? Like,
yeah, I think so. Well, I think I remember, but
I'm sure we both have different recollections.
Yeah, but I think you're right on this. But yeah, go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I remember, you're on the balcony, and one of us were like, "Yo, like, hey, want to be friends?"
Yeah.
And you like came down. One of us said it.
Yeah.
You like came down like, "All right, cool, we're friends."
And I was with my buddy Nathaniel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, he would always do that. Well, so I met Brandon when I was 5, so we've been friends. How many years is that?
Well, I'm 25 now.
I'm 26. I'm terrible at math. Well, 20 plus years.
Yeah, it's 21?
21 years.
Right? Does that add up? No, 19. 19.
Is it 19?
Because 26 minus 5.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, 21, yeah. 26 minus 5 is 21.
21 years.
This is suck at math.
So, so me and Brandon.
Years. Wow.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's nuts.
I think I don't have any other friends that. No, I don't.
You're like kept in touch for that long?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, dude, you're the first like friend when I got up.
For real. And then it's crazy because over the years we stayed in contact. Even when we moved out of Quail Cove, we stayed. And I think we have to give it to our parents.
For sure, because they always we'd always invite each other to like the big events, you know.
Yeah, birthday parties and
I think that was the biggest thing.
We were always sleepovers and hanging out.
Yeah.
Quail Cove was actually. I was thinking about this the other day. So I remember it was like me, you, and Trevin, and we were like Trevin was like still in diapers, I think, and we were just running all around the apartment. We're running by ourselves all around the apartment complex. Like, does that even happen today anymore? I don't know. We were so small.
Back then, we weren't as populated as we are now. I don't know. I feel like we'd have to like live there to like.
Yeah, because I was thinking like me as a parent, would I let like say you and say Silas and Kit? Okay, they're 5 years old. All right, go play. By themselves.
Yeah, it was most definitely not do that. Yeah, so maybe not. I don't know, but we're like.
Yeah, so this was like late 90s or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like almost 2000, like.
Yeah, getting pretty. Yeah. Yeah, so we go back pretty far. It's actually pretty special. And you've been married for how long now with Devon? Oh,
Don't even ask
you
me
better know
that,
this. Oh, you're on the chopping block.
2019, so 5 years.
5 years.
Right?
Yeah,
14.
14, yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
And the two of you even met.
4th grade.
Yeah.
2004.
That's elementary sweethearts right there. That's not even high school
For real.
sweethearts.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta hear this though, because it's kind of funny. Devon actually lived in Quail Cove.
Yeah.
So I
Whoa.
think we lived in Quail Cove 2 separate times because we were on and off.
Yeah.
Of Quail Cove. And it was in what grade? 4th grade. Yeah, it was in 4th grade. I think we'd still been there. Like you guys had moved.
Yeah.
Or what year did you guys leave?
Man, I think where I left was when I was in the third grade or second grade.
Yeah, so it was like probably a year.
second,
I don't know. We were there for a few years after.
Yeah.
And Devon moved into Quail Cove, and she was like in our little 4th grade class, and I was with like I don't know if you remember Cade and Dominic.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys, right?
Yeah.
I remember she was like the new cute, the new cute girl. Like, oh Sam, and Cade was like, yo, I'm gonna come up on that. And he did. It was funny because he came over. And we went over to her house. And they were like boyfriend girlfriend.
Oh,
and like her mom gave us like little treats and stuff, like little kids. Yeah, and then on and off we like hung out, huh?
Yeah.
In junior high.
And then you like my best friend Nikki in like 7th, 8th grade, right?
Yeah, in junior high. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they would sneak out of her house.
So, during this whole time when you first met her, did you ever have a secret crush on her at all, or did that like develop later then?
No, it didn't develop until senior year.
Senior year, so
Yeah.
4th grade to senior.
Yeah, senior year, and it was like. I don't know. It just happened. I wasn't really into girls. Kinda. So that summer, this is what happened. That summer I got into the accident. Remember like that longboarding accident? You guys came and saw me, huh? You guys came to the house.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, I was like in bed, just like bedridden. Do you remember that? The longboarding
Were you in
accident?
the trailer already?
Yeah, we were at the trailer.
Oh yeah, I did
Yeah.
come see you. Yeah.
But that was like I was like the summer before senior or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh my goodness, I almost died.
Yeah.
Almost died, and I haven't had like a serious girlfriend, And I was like, I need to get on it. Really, it was, what it was, I was still a virgin, okay?
Yeah.
I needed to get that out of the way before I died.
Yeah, so your life flashed before your eyes like crap. I almost died a virgin. That's a no-go. Yeah.
And so I remember I like made it a thing, just talk a bunch of girls, and Devon was one of them.
So I think
What's one of them?
the truth comes out.
We were having this conversation just yesterday, right?
Uh-huh.
About how for some reason in my life now, a lot of people, I don't know if I either attract it or if it just happens. I feel like I have a face that's really familiar. Because people always think that like they know me, but they don't.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, I think I attract people who like need advice. It's weird.
Really?
And, yeah.
Like
and
say you're working at the store, right? Do people come like talk to you?
Dude, do you remember Coach? Oh, dude, it's crazy. What's his name?
Football coach?
Jeff. Yeah.
Coach Jeff.
His name was. It wasn't Jeff. That's
Duckworth?
his first name. Jeff. It was the. It was the one year we were on the same team. No. Actually, you know what?
Oh, talking about Little League.
Yeah, Little League.
Oh,
Little League.
okay.
I think we were. No, I don't think we were. Cause
Oh.
anyways, one of the coaches like came and like spilled a bunch of beans that like I was not.
Really? Did he know?
I was like super open to like listening and like
Yeah.
it was super cool. So that's just one example. But everyone like at work.
Did he recognize you?
Yeah, well, it took him a minute because then I told my mom because my mom always leaves a huge impression, because she's crazy.
Your mom's pretty popular actually. Right?
She is for real. Yeah, she's funny. But anyways, we were talking about how I attract that, and I was like, you know what? If we look back, because we're like, maybe that's my gift. How can I make money off? How can I turn this into something where I can make money?
Yeah.
Right? But I was like, yeah, think about it. Like, that's how I got you. Like, that's how I threw the hook and reeled you in. Like, it was because she needed someone to talk to, and I was there to listen. Yeah, I snatched her.
Well, what about you, Devon? So you met Brandon in the 4th grade, but like during this whole time, did you ever like the light turn on? It's like, oh wow, he's actually kind of sexy, or like?
No, it was weird. Like, I don't know.
I think you kind of did subconsciously. Sure.
Yeah.
Think about it. All junior high, maybe like not junior high, because you were a bully. She actually bullied me.
Oh. Because Brandon was. You were chubby as a kid.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Oh, she getting called out.
Yeah.
I mean, we can move past that, whatever, you know. But,
Obviously.
But what was it? What was I saying?
Oh, how like your people are attracted to you. They look for advice.
Oh no, Devon, because you asked that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If there was ever time, but in high school, she was always that girl that would like, "Hi, Brandon." Hi, Brandon. In the hallway, like no one else would do. Not even like.
Being nice. I don't know.
I guess.
Was it? Or was it deep down in your heart?
So.
You know,
I think
something,
so.
a light was sparked. You know?
Sure. Yeah. Well, we just like started hanging out.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Started hanging out and never stopped.
Yeah, we hung out like every day for like months, if not like.
Yeah. That whole senior year.
Yeah.
She's very clingy.
Yeah. Texting, calling. Where are you? You know.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
That's actually you guys. That's right. You guys started dating your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Then you guys got pretty serious like right after graduation, right?
Yeah, I mean she moved in within a year.
Yeah. How'd your parents like that?
They didn't like.
They didn't.
Yeah, they forced us pretty much too. They
Kind of, yeah. I mean, they just there was an ultimatum, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being together or move out with him.
Well, I don't. Was it that? I thought
were your parents chill?
sex, huh?
Yeah.
Were your parents chill?
Yeah, I mean, I was with my dad, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we've been together long enough, you know, like in I don't know how it is in like the Brazilian culture, you know, like Mexican culture, like if you're together, you're together.
Yeah, so what I noticed in Brazil, no one's married.
Yeah, that's like not a thing, right?
They say they're married.
It's a West. Well, I guess it's still Western, but like it's American.
It's really traditional, yeah. Yeah, because in Brazil, like I think all of Ana Paula's family, like no one's married. Maybe like one of her uncles is, and there's like 9 of them.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like with my family too. Like they still say you're married, right? Even if you're not binded by this document.
So, Devon, you being white and coming from a different background, and then with Brandon's background, there's a lot of quinceañeras. There's a lot of Mexican weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever learn how to dance?
I mean, I'm okay dancer, but not like the best, you know. Yeah,
we can jump on the dance floor.
Can you guys keep up with the other Mexican couples out there?
Grind on each other.
That's the best type of dance out there. Yeah, it's pretty easy.
I'm real good at that. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
no, that's mostly
like
my fault.
Though.
I hate dancing, especially to that type of music.
Like Mexican music. Yeah, I'll get up and dance with like.
We've done it, and we pretend like we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sure it looks goofy, but we're having a good time.
Yeah.
You guys got married 2015?
2014.
Oh, 2014.
Yeah, summer 2014.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Crazy.
So I know when we talked in the store, we kind of wanted to talk about a certain topic about religion, because I think you have a really interesting view. And I don't know if Devon shares the same view or not, but kind of. Yeah, kids' pants are down.
Little butt cheeks hanging out. Where's Sai?
He's on the couch.
Hanging out with his tablet.
Cool.
I think I put his diaper on pretty bad. But well, anyways, yeah. So Brandon, take us a little bit into your mind.
That's how I think.
And actually,
life.
let us know how you got to this point too.
Okay, for sure. So I mean, I grew up Catholic. So
because your parents
my
are
parents.
both Catholic.
I think I don't know.
I've been to a lot of your. I think I've been to almost all your brothers and sisters' baptisms.
Yeah, I'm sure, dude. Yeah.
Because I remember Randy's pretty well because. Side note.
Little.
Yeah, my dad was supposed to record Randy's baptism, but my dad never pressed the record button.
No way.
The whole
That's so
time.
Funny.
Because he didn't know, he never used a camera, like those handheld.
I mean, those were like, I don't know, high tech back then.
Yeah,
right?
they were kind of big.
Years ago,
But yeah, anyways, go ahead.
Can't just do it on your phone now.
Yeah.
I know, so easy. Yeah, I mean, I was raised Catholic, so most of my life, I think.
Did you go, like, what is it they do when they turn, like, 10?
Yeah, so I was actually late. So what they do is you have to go do your first communion, right? Which is, like, around, I think, 10 years old, 11, like, I don't know. And basically you just go in and, like, I don't know, learn the gospel, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have to go through, like, oh man, dude, it was so long. I'm pretty sure it was like 3 months because I remember I was doing football because I was like a late. I don't know. I went into it way late, so I was like super old. Bunch of other like younger kids.
Little kids. Yeah.
Or you know what? No, I lied. I remember going in. They had a class for people who were like in it late for older people, so they're like around the same age. I think.
Yeah.
But I remember I did it when like during the summer when we had football, and so I'd go to football practice. And I'd go to the class in my football like. Attire.
Pads,
like
knee
clean,
pads.
smelled disgusting.
Yeah.
You get that line of sweat. Like, it was gross. Yeah, like multiple times. Like anytime it lined up that way, like that's how it had to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like months. I remember going to, and it was for like 2 years. And the first one, you do your first communion, whatever, which is like where you go and take like the sacrament.
Oh yeah.
Right? For the first time, where it like actually counts. Or I think that's when you can like. Actually take it was when you do your first communion. So after that you can like continuously go confess and then take the sacrament, right? Or the communion, whatever they're calling, you know what they're calling one. But then the second year was for like confirmation. That's when you like get confirmed into the church. I'm not 100% because I didn't finish. Like I think I was old enough, like 13, 14, where I told him, I'm like, yo, I don't like this. But it's because honestly, I think I just have bad experiences within the church, right? Because even in those classes, they taught stuff that, like, I mean, you know, teenager, like where I like understood enough to like question, like, wait, what? Like this goes against like just normal values, you know, where they would like talk down on other religions, and I was like, this is what I'm here to learn. You know what I mean?
So even at a young age, I mean, the wheels were already turning.
Yeah, like what? Just because I started noticing that's what it was. Like a lot of times they just would talk crap. You know, they talk crap on other churches and say that we're the true church, right? And if ever you know you'd argue it, they would just I don't know. They wouldn't give you like a logical answer. It was something off, I don't know, scripture.
You need to pray more.
Yeah, something like that, right? And so they never give you like a real answer. And so I remember telling them, like, look, like, I'm wasting my time going to learn, or they're teaching me stuff that, like, it has no good values. It goes against, like, what, you know, the values that I thought we had. You know, like, it doesn't make sense to talk down on other religion, which in turn is talking down on other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
So
I was like, I don't want to do it.
So when it came to your like confirmation,
I think I stopped. Not even like I wasn't even close to it.
But were your parents like, no, you got to go, or
my dad? I mean, because my dad was like pretty like, you know, even now he's still pretty like I don't know, hardcore. Not really, I guess. I don't know.
Like every Sunday.
Even he himself is now questioning stuff. Like just like I don't know, dude. Religion's crazy. But yeah, my dad was pretty upset. Like he wanted me to do it, but I just didn't. I think my mom was one who kind of like, just do your thing, you know, like do what you want to do. And then even when we had Sai, like he still wanted us to like take him to church, go and get. I think they actually took him. My mom, right, took him to go get blessed by the priest or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like something. I don't know, it's not as intense as like the LDS church where they.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's pretty similar, honestly. Honestly, it's pretty like the same almost.
Just like a baby blessing.
Yeah, it's a baby blessing.
Oh, like in front of the whole church?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they take him up and the priest does it with him.
And they show him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They present him to God and stuff.
And so, Devon's background, I'm just assuming, but you're Mormon whole life?
Mm-hmm.
Grew up here in Utah? Or?
Yeah, I was born in Wyoming. I lived there for 4 years, then moved to Colorado for 4 years, and then moved here when I was 9. So from 9 on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you did the young woman's, you did everything.
Yeah, I remember when we were dating, I had to drop her off at Young Woman's.
Yeah. My parents would like make me go.
Yeah. And when you dropped her off, you're like, don't tell anyone. Yeah.
That what?
Wink.
Oh, wink,
yeah,
dirty.
wink, yeah. Don't tell your bishop. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
We need some scriptures now.
Yeah.
That's for what you just did.
Yeah.
I think we had pretty similar, like, I don't know, as far as like religion goes. It was kind of just spoon fed, you know. It wasn't like an option. It was something that
you have to do.
Yeah. Or there are negative consequences.
Okay.
That's how it was.
So you, I know that. Yeah. So you're. Yeah. I guess at this point you stopped really going to the Catholic Church then, and.
Well, yeah. So I got baptized, and I'll be honest, it was mostly for love.
No, he's talking about Catholic Church.
Oh, my bad. So my bad. I guess
Okay.
I got baptized in the because when you're in the Catholic religion, you get baptized when you're like
as a child,
as
right?
a baby. Yeah. So that's another thing. It's like not, I don't know. You're a baby. Like, how do you know if that's what you want?
Yeah.
So I think when I was on my mission, you told me you got baptized in the Mormon church or LDS church.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kind of take us through that a little bit. And was it really hard? Or?
Okay, so like I said, it was for love. You know, like it was.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, now when I look back on it, that's what the reality of it is. That's what it was, right? In the moment, it was almost like I probably convinced myself that I wanted it to be true. In the moment, you know, and that's the thing is, I think we were talking about it that day when we came to the store. How in that moment it did feel so true and so real, and like I got those feelings of, cause like for one example, I remember one of the first like most genuine prayers where like it was within the church, right? I was like, okay, I'm going to church on Sundays. I'm reading like the Book of Mormon, and I remember sitting down and praying on my knees. Okay, hadn't done that. Like I grew up praying like every night. Like it was like ritual, dude. Like my dad would. There's a couple times we literally spent a whole hour praying, dude. It was nuts. Like, and my dad would just sit there and read stuff, and we just repeat it.
Yeah.
You know. And so that's why where I mean like it's spoon fed. Like he didn't know what he was reading. He's just reading off to it, making us repeat it.
Because that's probably what he did as a kid too.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's what. Yeah, it's the same exact thing. So just trying to copy. It was all, I think, good intent for sure. But anyways, I tried. You know, I felt good about it. That time when I prayed, like I felt like a presence. You know, but I really believe now I felt the presence because I wanted to feel that presence.
So you think it was maybe more a psychological thing that happened, or
partly? No.
Okay.
So I still like. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't believe in like, you know, that spiritual presence. I guess, right? I guess the best way I could explain it. But I don't know. Yeah, like I
does this moment ever like cross your mind?
Lots of times, but here's the thing. That's why I say like I wanted to feel that presence, right? And when I look back at other experiences, I have felt that presence, but it wasn't the way that I was. It wasn't like the same way. I guess it wasn't within the church. Okay. I've still felt the same thing. Yeah. Like that. I don't know. I'm sure you know how. Like that feeling of just like peace and. The best way for me to explain it is if you could feel gratitude. Yeah. You could feel what it feels like to feel gratitude. I don't know.
So you knelt down and you were praying. Was it something the missionaries asked you to do, or?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was something that I had already like was instilled, right? Like praying.
Yeah.
Like I was a huge believer in praying. Like I had other experiences where I prayed, and we can kind of talk like a ghost story where I prayed.
I had an experience.
I believe in the power of prayer for sure.
Yeah, I had a weird experience too. Not really on like prayer.
Uh-huh.
But I'll get into it. I have it on my mind right now, but it's something like what you're talking about that day when you prayed. Like, but mine was kind of weird. Like I saw something.
Oh, you saw
but
something?
I will get to that in a second. So yeah, keep going. You were receiving the missionary lessons, right?
Yeah, going to church every Sunday.
Yeah, you mentioned that was more part to do for love of Devon.
Yeah, just not lose. I didn't, because it was like cold turkey. You know what I mean? Like imagine taking, a child's little toy or candy and just cold turkey. Like, you know what I mean? And
so you had a lot of pressure on your shoulders during this time.
Tons. It was rough.
When did you tell your parents that you were going to baptize into
the
Mormon?
My mom was actually super cool about it. She's always been like that. I mean, she gave me the choice to not continue going to the Catholic Church. Whatever, dude, I didn't tell my dad, honestly. He knows. I think he knows now. He was in Mexico when I got baptized.
Oh, shoot.
And my mom came. My mom the whole time, I don't know, she'd give me crap about it. Like, you're doing this for the wrong reasons. But like I said, in the moment, like, I was like, no, like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like, this is it. Like, this is what I want. And I remember, like, because before, like, I would, like, smoke.
Yeah.
I would drink. I was doing all these other crazy drugs. And, I mean, this was, like, before we kind of started dating. But, like, even after we started dating, I was still, like, smoking and drinking, right?
Yeah.
And I stopped, dude. Like,
really?
And this is where they were being gone. I came like, yeah, I'm not doing it. You know?
From what I know, did you ever feel this to where people that do like smoke a lot or drink a lot and they stop? Does it ever cross your mind like I kind of miss it? Because I met a lot of people that feel that way.
Oh, for sure, dude. I mean, like I wasn't a huge drinker, but I smoked the ganja for sure. And yeah. I feel like there's lots of times where I'm like, shoot, like I felt overwhelmed or whatever with whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, if I just got stoned real quick, I'd be fine. But I didn't. I don't know. Like I stayed true to it. You know what I mean? Like I wanted it to be like pure. I guess.
What about when like the missionaries are talking to you and they're telling you, what is it called? The word of wisdom, right? Like like coffee and.
I mean, I don't even like coffee.
There's a lot of stuff on
the word of wisdom, as far as I know, I followed it. You know what I mean? Like I mean, you can go in depth with the word of wisdom, right? Because like, just eating lots of sugar is against the word of wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah, like anything addictive.
Anything that's like in huge amount of quantities. Like if you're addicted to caffeine, like wouldn't that technically be against
I guess
the word of wisdom?
So, because I know a lot of like converts, when they convert, like the word of wisdom is kind of like, dang, no coffee? Like, you kidding me? Yeah.
I mean, that's for sure one of those
I guess
things.
Did that bother you at all? Or?
No, that's one of those things that I think is weird for sure, but I didn't really drink coffee. Like, it wasn't like in the household. I mean, we actually drank coffee growing up a lot with bread. Like, I think it's a Mexican thing. I don't know if it is. Like,
I think it's like a Latin American
right?
thing.
Yeah.
Brazil,
like
same way.
some coffee and some pan, like some bread.
Yeah.
Right, like dip it in. That pan dulce. That pan dulce. You know what I'm talking about?
All my brother-in-laws in Brazil and sister-in-laws do that every morning.
Like for breakfast. Yeah, that's how it was. But like in high school, that was like when we were little kids. We were little kids drinking coffee, but not in high school. Like I don't know. I wouldn't go searching for it. If I was offered coffee, I'd drink it, but I wouldn't go out of my way to drink coffee. So that wasn't really.
So when Brandon was being baptized at this time, were you just like super happy or what?
Oh, I've never actually heard. How did you feel? Like, take us into that little.
Well, I was kind of skeptical too. Like, is he doing it for the right reason? You know. But yeah, I mean, I was happy. I don't know. I felt bad though. I didn't want you to do it like because
of outside pressure or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't want to pressure, but I don't know.
Well, I guess was it a way just to get the final blessing of your in-laws, or?
I mean, ultimately, I think that's what it was. Yeah, for sure. But in the end, like I did it for like 6 months. I did it for like 6 months. Here's another weird thing where like now when I look back on it, it's kind of a trip because the first day that I met with the missionaries, okay, and I mean you did your mission, so I don't know if this is what you did too, but they already had a date set of when I was gonna get baptized.
I think like they told you that, like.
Dude, like the first
meeting. Or they
meeting,
just kept it to themselves.
No, they told me that. The first time ever meeting, okay? They're like, okay, if everything goes well and you feel like you still want to do this, this is the day that we're going to do this. And I was like, you were still there. You were still there.
I think that's what we did in our mission too. Like that's how they train you, right, to be a missionary.
Yeah.
And they say, so every investigator, you have to let them know that your ultimate goal is to help them get baptized.
For sure.
So I think that's why they brought it up on the
that's
first
what
day.
you guys are doing.
So mission. So when you go on a mission, your main goal is to baptize.
Yeah.
If you can.
Makes sense.
But every mission in the world is different. So in my mission, we were baptizing a lot of people. If any of these people stayed, I don't think so. But we baptized a lot of people. Whether they stay or not, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't think they do stay very long.
You can probably tell which ones.
Yeah.
Not.
And I've been to Brazil a lot, and I visited a lot of the places I served, and I never saw anyone I baptized.
Oh, really?
Like
there might be one or two,
See?
But I think it's more a culture thing. And at the time on mission, we were baptizing people the very first day we met them.
Wow.
And we're baptizing people that the church didn't even exist. There's not one chapel, nothing. It was just like a little town in the countryside. We'll hop on a bus for 2 days. We'll hop on a bus, stay there for 2 days, like with some guy, like
locals or something.
Yeah, with just, like if there's like an ex-member that lived in that city, we'd get his information. Like, hey, we're the missionaries. Can we spend the night at your house for 2 days? And they're super nice, Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And we even stayed in apartments or like houses that were like not members.
Really? Like they were open to it? Like how did you go about that?
Because they knew missionaries from before, and we would have so missionaries, they keep a book in their apartment of everyone they talk to.
Oh wow.
Where they live, numbers, who they are, and me, my companion, and another companion. So the four of us, like, hey, let's go to the countryside this weekend. And we love it as missionaries because it's just really fun, because you just mess around and baptize 20 people, then leave. So that's how our mission. So that was our mission's president. Our mission president's idea was baptize whoever you can. If they go to church, good for them. If they don't, at least they're baptized.
Yeah.
At least they have something close to God. So that was his point of view. But a lot of people confuse it with, you're just trying to baptize numbers. You're just trying to baptize 1,000 people in a month, just for numbers. But my mission president's view is really different. So like in the Mormon church, have you heard of baptisms for the dead? Yeah, so you could go baptize in someone else's place if they're not living anymore.
You go do in the temple, right?
Yeah. So my mission president's mentality, because if you do a baptism for the dead in heaven or wherever they are, they have a chance to accept it or not.
Yeah.
And so my mission president is like, hey, might as well get them baptized now. What's the difference of baptizing them for the dead or now? The choice is theirs if they want to start going to church, but we would teach them everything and they would still have to accept it.
Yeah, for sure.
We would never force anyone to be baptized, but we would never say no to anyone that wanted to be baptized.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
even if it was like, you can tell.
Yeah,
so. It wasn't for the right reasons or whatever.
I baptized a guy, like he was a gang member or whatever. Oh, he was an old gang member, and I don't know why he wanted to get baptized, but I think he thought we were like evangelicals or something. And he's like, hey, can you guys baptize me? And we were in the countryside. Church doesn't even exist. Like, no bishops, nothing.
Dang.
He's like, all right, yeah, let's walk down to the river, you know. And then we sit down with him. We teach him a little bit. We talk about like the book. We give him Book of Mormon and all the pamphlets, and we go through all the lessons, you know, because you're supposed to do all the lessons before someone gets baptized. And we just do it on the spot. We baptize him. And then, like, we confirmed, you know, when they put the hands on the head, like, we confirmed him, and see ya. We wrote down his number, and then we give all the info to the bishop that lives in the closest city. But I doubt he does anything with it.
Information?
Yeah. But the mission like that now, where I serve, it's not like that anymore. It just kind of depends on your mission president.
Yeah.
But as missionaries, you love it.
I'm sure.
Because when you're baptizing people, you're just having a great time. Not in a bad way, but like you're really happy, you know. You're helping these people in some small way, but
yeah,
that's not all the baptisms we've had though. A lot of people, you know, you teach them for like a couple months and then they choose to do it.
Yeah.
But countryside baptisms were like that though. But
I have a question for you. It's kind of like not off subject, but kind of relating to like the mission.
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually had this guy come in to the store a couple weeks ago. We had a really good conversation, right? And the introduction was like, him and this girl were talking about Russia, you know, and I was like, you guys from Russia? You guys been to Russia? And the guy, when I asked him like, what did you do in Russia? You know, he's like, oh, I was traveling a bunch of different little places out there, you know. And I was like, okay, cool. And we got into the conversation, you know, and I asked him like, well, what did you do there, like while you were there?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, actually, I served a mission. And so I guess my question is like, do you ever shy away from telling people?
Oh, actually, dude, I do.
Yeah. So, and I called him out on this, right? I was like, look, dude, like. And I told him, you know, like my views, like I'm not super into like religion, like I believe in like a higher power or whatever, but
yeah.
I've noticed that a lot of missionaries when they talk about they talk about going to a country for a couple years, and they don't ever say like, oh, I served a mission. That's not what they start off with. You have to like get it out of them, right? Because I've even done a couple interviews with some kids where they like do the same thing. They talk about like, I traveled around.
Applying to the store, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're the manager there. Okay.
And they talk about, I traveled, you know, this country for 2 years, you know, multiple times. And so I asked this kid, like, why? You know, like, why do you do that? And he's like, dude, you know what? Like, I don't know. Like, and he talked about, well, he did know. He talked about how a lot of times, even in Utah, which is kind of nuts, like a lot of times, well, I guess it makes sense. A lot of times people are quick to judge. Like, oh, this kid's a little more.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, speaking of that, because at work, at my job, I don't tell anyone I'm Mormon.
Really?
Ever. Because I don't want people to treat me differently anyway, or like, so factory worker, a lot of people, in factory work, a lot of people swear and cuss,
it's like
you know, it's so
normal.
normal. And I don't want people, it's kind of weird to say, not to swear and cuss when I'm around them.
To stop doing it?
It's like, Kacey's around here. Like, don't swear. He's Mormon.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't give a crap. I'm here to get my check. You know, like, say whatever you want. But I have done that. What you're talking about.
You shy away from talking about being a missionary.
And I think that's a big part of it. Also, I think another part of it, because you have so many missionaries that go out on missions, or members go out on missions. You know, and so it's really not. Say if I lived in California or a different state where there's not a lot of Mormons, I think it would be easier to say, I went on a mission. But then here in Utah, so many people go on missions. I mean, it's almost not as exciting as it would be in a different state.
So they go to talking about just traveling the country.
So if you say, I said this, I lived in Brazil for 2 years.
Yeah, see, that's
and everybody would be like, wow, you lived in Brazil? Why'd you go out there? like crap, I gotta say it now. I can't like.
Yeah.
I served the mission, and they go, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like it loses its
excitement,
excitement or the I don't even know what the word. Yeah, excitement. You know.
Yeah.
Like it kind of loses its flame.
Okay.
A little bit.
The spark of that
so
conversation.
I think, yeah. So yeah, I've done that quite a bit.
Yeah, well, this guy, I told him, was like, dude, like, you shouldn't, I don't know, because no matter what your views or your beliefs are, like, you should never be, like, afraid to...
I think it's something you should be really proud of.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's what I told him, too. I was like, look, you should be proud, like, you know, if someone doesn't agree with your belief, like, it doesn't mean that, you know, you shouldn't be proud of you doing it. Because you went out there and did, no matter which way you look at it, it was a positive thing that you went and did. You went and helped people, which, you know, like, it's a positive thing. It should never be something that you are afraid to talk about or embarrassed to talk about.
Yeah, never once in my life have I ever felt embarrassed. And I could see how it comes across that way. Maybe, I guess it could be embarrassing if you served in Idaho or something like that. But like it's like Russia, you know, it's a pretty cool place. Or like outside of the States, or even even New York would be pretty cool. Like I lived in New York for a couple of years, like East Coast or like down south.
Just anywhere different.
Yeah, but kind of interesting because I have done that before too. Yeah.
Well, this guy was like super thankful after. He's like, you know, because I was like, next time, man, just be straight up. You know, just be straight up.
Yeah.
I was pretty blunt with him, and he was appreciative of it. Like,
did he get the job?
No. I wasn't. I was just chit chatting with him.
Oh, chit chat.
Yeah,
okay.
it was another guy. It was funny because the guy and the girl. I was like, where did you guys meet? She's like, this is actually like first time we ever met, and we're on our first date. And I was like, oh, word, okay. I'll let you guys keep talking about Russia then.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's like, thank you, man, thank you. Like, from now on, he's like, I've noticed, like, no one's ever called me out on that. You know, like, no one's ever said anything. So, like, I should be proud. Because he talked about how he, like, out there, he, like, taught English.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just, like, talking about the gospel. Like, if they wanted to talk about the gospel, they would talk about it, right? But if not, they would teach him English. Because that was a big part, he says, the teaching English. Hey, be careful. Be careful, dude. Where's your tablet? You can play on your tablet.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Another thing too that.
Hey, stop it. Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Kiddos are fighting.
Yeah, I don't think Kit wants to share the
well, you shouldn't have to.
Senta Elin Proximo Deli. Oh. Yeah, so our listeners, our kids are just running all over the place, so they know. But
fighting over a phone.
Yeah, so you got baptized, and you were saying you stayed for about 6 months.
I did for 6 months.
Going every Sunday, and then
there's multiple things that kind of like drew me away, I guess. Basically, like in the end, I realized, like it all kind of came together, and I realized that I was kind of doing it for the wrong reasons, and for not, it wasn't like for me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I told Dev, like, look, I'm sorry, like I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, like, and I just can't do it. Like I can't sit here and lie and say that I can follow all this and say that I can believe all this.
And how did you respond to that? Were you like, that's fine, or was it like, no, you gotta come? You know?
Oh, well, yeah, like, I understood.
Yeah.
I was, like, sad about it, though. Because I'm like, well, crap, like,
Now what?
Yeah, I love him,
Mind you, this was, like, after I had already proposed.
Oh, yeah. Ring. So you guys are not even married at this point.
No, yeah. It was in the process.
Yeah.
But basically, I told her, like, if you want to be with me, you're going to have to come here. Otherwise, I'm sorry, like, I want to be with you, but it's got to be, like, I can't do it the way that...
Were you, so, uma baixa essa ela. Abashi?
Yeah, and I was in North Carolina with my parents at the time, living there. And, like, I had already thought he was going to, like, move out there and everything. And then he's like, actually, you know, I'm not going to be in church and you should move here. And I'm like,
Were you like,
wait,
oh, now the
what?
pressure's on me this time?
Yeah.
You know?
Which I didn't want to do that. It was just like, you know, it wasn't like, I guess, revenge. It was more like a realization, you know, like, whoa, like I can't do this for someone else.
During this time period, were you going to church by yourself then?
Dude, I was, yeah. I was going to church every Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
How,
weird.
were you received well, or like, how was that?
You know, I actually was. Like, the ward was actually really nice because they were like people that kind of lived around.
Hey, Sai, no.
Sai, careful. His foot, dude.
Sai.
Silas.
Sai.
Yeah. Well, we got 2. Well, Silas is 3, right?
He'll be 3 in
Oh.
August, so he's like 2.5. Yeah.
Yeah, we got 2 terrible 2s, so
Yeah, sorry guys.
It's getting
My
pretty-
kid's being a punk.
it's getting pretty wild.
Yeah, what the heck, Sai? It'd be
This
nice.
isn't the most traditional podcast.
See, we had a better experience when we met. Yeah, we were a little older.
Oh, we were
you
straight
know?
best friends. Like, we're
Yeah.
friends? Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So you were going to church by yourself for quite a bit, and then
Yeah, every Sunday. There might have been a couple Sundays where, like, maybe I had to work or something, but
yeah.
yeah, for the most part. Because, like, you know, like my parents weren't
So what?
in it.
So
Sorry,
what
sorry.
was the? Oh, we got a MMA, baby MMA.
Yeah, it's kinda like-
Yeah.
Fight swords.
Yeah.
Be nice. Do you want me to take that away?
Oh, damn. You guys go at you there.
He's feisty, bro. He's a punk.
I think it's just tolerance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is Sage.
Yeah, it's funny.
But yeah, every Sunday, going to church, I was received really well.
Next time you know.
I mean, there's always going to be, like, people that kind of are judgy, right? And there was that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I've always wondered something, you know. So, it's kind of. I think it just depends on where you live. Like big cities, a lot of members, you know. Not everyone's going to come up and talk to you because there's so many members in a ward. But I've heard that some people say they go to church in a pair of jeans, and they feel like everyone's just like looking at them or judging them. Did you ever feel that way at all?
Yeah,
or?
for sure, because,
Yeah.
like, I don't like wearing white.
And you
that's-
didn't have a suit or anything.
Yeah,
Everyone
nothing.
has like suits, you know.
I
Yeah.
just had, like, I
So-
don't know, some chinos, like some chino pants.
Yeah.
And they weren't
A
even
nice
slacks.
button
And,
shirt.
yeah, nice button-up
Yeah.
shirt with a tie. You know?
And, like,
Sometimes it
skate-
wasn't white. Like, it was, like,
Skater shoes probably too.
Hey, you gotta be nice.
no.
Okay.
Well, they were Vans, but they were
Yeah.
like they were like dressy Vans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They looked really nice.
yeah, they look like
They
church
were
shoes.
bands.
They look like church shoes,
Yeah,
but they weren't like that. I don't know.
yeah, I've always wondered because I've heard this a lot. Like, say they come up, they go to church one Sunday and they're not dressed, you know, to the common standard, I guess.
Sorry.
Yeah,
And everyone feels like they're like being looked
Sorry.
at or whatever.
but I think
But I always thought, I wonder if that's more like a mental thing, because like you know how,
look at you.
well, because you know how like when you're in you're in junior high, and you have like a pimple on your forehead, and you think that everyone's looking at it, but in reality, like no one even
is.
yeah. But in your mind, you're so convinced everyone's looking at your pimple. There's a word I think it's called like ecocentrism. To
Yeah.
where you think everyone's focused on you, but in reality, like no one is, because everyone's just focused on themselves. You know?
Yeah.
But I've heard that quite a bit.
I mean, I never felt that. If that's what you're asking, yeah, I never
Yeah.
felt that. Honestly, because like I wasn't. I don't know. I wasn't there to see anyone else. I was there to like to listen. I guess. You know what I mean?
So you have so you've been through the Catholic, now you've been through the Mormon, and now, what would you say is your belief? Because you say you believe in God, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can't sit here and say that I believe in God because I feel like that kind of just leads back to religion, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about this, but I think a higher power for sure, right? Like I can't narrow it down to say just that one word because it's like a primal word. You know what I mean? Like it's a word that a man has created, right? And I think the God, if we have to put a name to it, that I believe in is something that our little primal brains can't comprehend. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like it's something so complex that.
So in your view, it's not exactly a person.
Yeah, you know what? The best way to explain it, and this is why I think I love, I love Star Wars. Like I have Star Wars tattoos, right? And this might seem like, okay, like this is dumb, but the Force, man, you know what I mean? Like that, that's a good example of, and I'm not saying that's where I got my beliefs, It was just a collection of a bunch of different things where like things don't make sense when, I don't know, it's all, I keep saying this, but it's all like primal. It's all something that man has created, right?
Okay.
And I think it's way above us. So like, for example, and I think in just like the Christian Bible, right, it talks about how God created man in his image, right? Yeah. Well, and I guess a lot of my beliefs are kind of like scientific too, right? Where if we were on a different planet, like our Earth, right, and our everything, like everything that is on Earth is the way it is because of our environment, right? So because where we are in the solar system, that's how we were molded, right? Yeah. And to think that God created us, and maybe it's not like, it's more metaphorically said, I guess, because most of the Bible is not literal. It's all kind of metaphoric, but like it doesn't make sense because Earth made us the way that we are now.
Like,
so if we lived
how we like our physical appearance,
how we're formed, everything. Like if we were on a different planet, like it could be different.
Oh, so I get what you're saying.
For example, I don't know if this is 100% true, but I remember reading how even astronauts, like when they go to measure like their their DNA, it has slightly changed because they're outside of Earth.
It's making like physical and like microscopic changes to their body.
Yeah, because of their environment.
Would you say that it would change the way we even think?
I would think so, because I think so. I was actually reading into this. So you ever heard of like what? And I'm not 100% like educated, I guess, in it. But what?
He doesn't want that.
Rationalism, I think.
Let him get out.
But basically, it's like, we are what we are based on the experiences and our environment, pretty much. It comes down to like the environment that we're surrounded in. I mean, think about it, okay? This is just like, I guess at a religious level, right? Imagine if you and I, right, were born in, I don't know, like the UK or in Thailand, all these other countries where they have are mostly prominent in like what Buddhism or in Hinduism, Muslims, like that's what we would be conditioned to, right? Yeah. And so that was based on our environment. Okay. You know what I mean? And so I mean, in the bigger picture, if you think about God creating man in His image, it just doesn't make sense. Okay. It doesn't make sense to me. At least not to me. You know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. But again, it could be metaphorical.
So you do believe there's a higher power, but not necessarily like a God or
like one being. I don't think it's one being. It's like it just is.
Like
you know what I mean?
Like kind of like a force, like you're mentioning it. What about like what? So I know in most religions there's like what is it? Like commandments, like
values,
values, or like morals. So like with your idea of this type of deity or force,
like my beliefs?
Your beliefs. Like where do do
values.
morals come into it?
I mean, I feel like again, imagine if we lived 200 years ago. I feel like our morals would be different. right?
Yeah, we
Don't
could
you
we
think?
could be racist
I mean,
probably.
Yeah,
You know, like,
that's what I'm saying. But to us, that would be normal.
yeah.
You know, so I mean, right now, in this time, like, just being a good person, doing your best not to like judge. Obviously, like not killing. I'm not gonna say here that I haven't stolen. Like, we were dumb kids.
Yeah.
I've stolen before.
That Maverick got hit up pretty good by Qualcomm.
Straight up, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All the time, bro. Not just that, like money from parents and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what probably the same thing you would think, like as far as
And-
having good values, treating people the way you.
And do you think like these values, they come from God or? I don't want to say.
We could say God. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I would just say God. From God, like in your beliefs, do they come from God, or from this force?
I
Maybe.
think it just comes naturally, right? And again, I keep talking about it, but like it's just all what you're conditioned to. You know what I mean? Like I grew up in a pretty good household.
Yeah.
I was taught to respect others.
So is it fair to say that, say someone has, like, it's okay to steal, would you consider that wrong then?
Okay, that depends on the situation. That depends. No, but I mean,
let's
when it
just
comes
go.
down to it, yes, I think it would.
I guess let's go like, is it okay? So say someone grows up, I don't know where this would ever happen. It's okay for you to murder someone. But so if that person's like conditioned to it, and it's not wrong to him, but it's probably wrong to you, right?
Yeah, I mean, look at the big picture. It is wrong.
Yeah.
Taking another life that, like, it's almost like you becoming God. Like, you get to choose if they live or die. I mean, perfect example is the military. I mean, when we go out to war, like, back home, they're not going to just go around and kill someone.
Yeah.
When they're out in war, that's what they're there to do, right? That's morals are. I don't know. We'd have to talk to someone who's been to war.
Yeah.
But their morals, I'm sure, are a little different because that's what they're.
I think in war, because when you're with your brothers, and then you're against the enemy, it's like, I don't want to die. I don't want my brother next to me to die. So
yeah, I mean, you're like protecting each other.
Yeah, I think it's more like to protect each other. I guess you do have some instances where
you have to decide.
People go rogue and just start killing civilians, maybe. But
yeah, I mean, I think that's just. I mean, killing is already. I think all those things. That's the thing, is that all those things are already like stealing or being jealous. Or talking about someone are already naturally in human behavior, right?
Yeah.
But then man kind of creates these values and morals. Like I said, 200 years ago, we probably could have killed someone and got not gone to prison.
Or we could
depending on the situation.
Or we could have been owners of slaves.
Yeah, straight up. Or be slaves ourselves.
Yeah. What about like life, like after death?
Okay, that's one thing that's like, I guess still kind of bothers me. Like, the way I look at it is like, there could be, I hope, that's the thing, is I hope there is a heaven, right? I hope that there is something after that. And I believe that there is. There's no way, this is all pointless. And I actually thought about this today, okay? This is kind of looking way further outside, like the box, I guess. If you think about how a solar system or how a star is created, right? It's literally, it's like forced. Like it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like all this energy comes together naturally for it to exist. Okay? And so it's almost like a life in itself. Like there's life that's created within this life. Because Earth was created in this little solar system, right? But first it started off with the star, right? And then it kind of pulled in all this other stuff. But it was a force. You know what I mean? It was something that just naturally happened. And so I think life, it'd be careful, dude. Don't do that no more.
Right.
Don't do that no more. Yeah, it was something that like wanted to happen, and so for that to, I don't know, just thinking about that, like there's in a smaller perspective, I guess, like humans, like that's another thing that just happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it life created, like God. I guess that's the easiest way to explain it. Like God made this happen because it needed to happen, right? And so all these different energies, like it had to come from somewhere else. If you think about the solar system, it came from somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it all bundled together.
Would you say, so speaking about life after death, do you think there's any importance to the things we do in this life
that will affect the next? For sure. I mean, you'd think like, I don't know, yeah, you'd think that we're kind of like, and just thinking about the human, we're like just a bunch of chemicals and energy, right? And so energy has to go somewhere, and all those experiences that you do and gather, and they're all something, you know what I mean? Like they're all something, so
Okay.
I'm sure like it would. I mean, because do you believe in like resurrection at all?
If I believe there's a resurrection, like
Not
after
like Jesus Christ, but like people are reborn.
I think like reincarnation.
Yeah. Sorry,
Oh,
not resurrection.
okay.
Yeah, reincarnation. Yeah, that. Yeah, my bad.
No, reincarnation. Yeah, I don't believe in reincarnation. I lean a lot on the Christian side. So after death, you die, but then after a certain time, you come back to your body.
Yeah.
But reincarnation, I don't think I'm really into that idea.
I mean, there's just a bunch of stories where like people like have memories of
it.
people.
Well, okay, I'm not lying about this. So I met a guy, and he worked with me, and he's Hindu.
Okay.
So
which I think is like
reincarnation, karma. What you do in this life will give you a better life in the next one, whoever you are. And he told me like with a serious face, and I didn't know him well, so I don't think he was joking. He was really sincere. He was like, "Hey, I think I was Abraham Lincoln."
Really?
In my past life.
It's pretty funny, but like.
Yeah. And I was like, I didn't. Of course, I didn't want to like offend him. I was like, wow, really? He's like, yeah, man. It's like I had a dream where I was walking with a cane, and I had a big, like he was seeing from his
point of view.
First person point of view. And he looked down his feet. He had the boots, black pants, and he saw his long beard. And he took off his hat or something. He had a top hat, and like he's like, yeah, I had a dream. I'm pretty sure I was Abraham Lincoln in real life. That's crazy. And I was like, damn, let's put that on your resume.
I'm sure I was Abraham Lincoln in my past life.
Yeah. Imagine you're in an interview at the store and someone's like, yeah, I was George Washington in my past life.
Dude, hired, bro, after that.
Yeah. Hired. You're going to be great.
Sign here, please.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I hope that there is something after this, because if not, it's pointless. And the other scary side to it is like I also kind of think that it's just as likely for there to be nothing.
Okay.
Like for it to just be done.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems like you might be on the fence of either, like, correct me if I'm wrong, no God,
atheism, is that what you're saying?
atheism, or you're still holding on to something that's greater than yourself.
I think I don't know. That's the thing, is that that's where religion kind of ties all in, right? It's like it's either you believe in a God or you don't believe in a God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's not it. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if, and not in like an offensive way. Like I don't like generally. You know, like I don't care if like if you think I don't believe in God. You know what I mean? Like I know that there's something, but doesn't mean that it aligns with what like what you think there may be.
How long did you dive into this journey of researching all the science and then connecting it with this newfound belief? Like, when did this really start?
I mean, just over the years, dude. I don't know. I think after I feel like I've always kind of been like that. I always try to find something different and try to see like, okay, try to like connect the dots with like what life is, right? And
is there any religion that that you might want to look into?
No. Well,
because you mentioned reincarnation.
You know what? I would like Buddhism or Hinduism, but I wouldn't want to. It wouldn't be something that I want to like practice. You know what I mean? It would be more for like education, just to see like, what their beliefs are. Because I feel like feel like what I believe in kind of ties in with a bunch of different religions. You know what I mean? Like it's, I don't know. It doesn't. I just don't think that there's one. I mean, just to think how many religions there are.
Yeah.
And everyone's fighting over who's right. Like, it just doesn't make sense that one is like the one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's all environmental. You know what I mean? Like if we were born in Africa, we might not ever see the whatever, the Mormon church. You might not ever hear about it. And then we just die and never hear about this church. But we believed in whatever church they had out there. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. And the reason why I think it's almost just as likely for there to be nothing, and maybe, I don't know, this is kind of like a thing that kind of makes me feel like that, right? I don't believe it, but it's just as likely, you know what I mean? Like it's just when I got into that longboarding accident and I was knocked out, right?
Yeah.
And was unconscious for I don't know how long. I don't even know. But there was nothing. Like there's nothing.
Do you remember the space at all? Or was it? Yeah.
No, so like I remember going down the hill, seeing the light, and thinking like, oh, I'm probably screwed.
Because you're too fast.
Going way too fast, getting the wobbles. And then seeing the light, and then seeing nothing. And then waking up to like concrete and blood. And then going in and out, but in between that, I mean, it makes sense because, it all deals with like my brain.
Yeah.
But like there was nothing. Like there's nothing. Like just darkness.
So
I mean, I wasn't dead.
Yeah.
But
so before this time, were you almost expecting like, if this would ever to happen, I should see something? Yeah,
right? You should see something. Like when you're, because like I could have died. Like it was a pretty bad brain injury. Like I mean, not as bad as others, but like I don't know.
Hit your head pretty hard.
Yeah, like my brain was bleeding. Like there was bleeding in the brain.
Yeah.
And it, like I seizured up and stuff. So you'd think that, I don't know. And maybe I wasn't that close. Maybe I wasn't close to dying, so maybe that's why I didn't say anything. But just that thought, like that's how easy it would be. Right? Yeah. Because think about like what we are is our brains. Without a brain, we're not who we are. And the fact that my brain was shut off
instantly,
and then there was nothing.
If there was nothing. That's something incredible. Because honestly, you could go to church your whole life or whatever, and you're taught that there's heaven after death or whatever, but you honestly don't know until the day of. I mean, I think that's what. Well, kind of like what you're saying. Like you hope there's a heaven, like you really hope there is, instead of nothing, because it's a more optimistic view.
Yeah, I mean, because otherwise, what is this? You know what I mean? Like, what is all this?
And
I mean, when I say it's just as likely, like, I really hope that it's not.
50-50 maybe, yeah.
I really hope that it's not. I really, truly hope that there's something after this.
You mentioned one spiritual experience earlier when you were praying, like your first real prayer.
Yeah. Where I got that feeling, like.
What were the other times that's ever happened?
Okay, there's multiple, okay, where, and I don't know, most people would probably disagree. I don't know, some people might disagree, but it was when I was stoned.
Yeah.
Like there's lots of times, because like a lot of times, like when I was younger, I did it for dumb reasons, right? But there were a lot of times where when I was older, I mean not that much older, but where I would literally do it almost like a religious practice. Like I wouldn't be like, okay, I'm going in this just to get high.
Yeah.
Like I
just want to get messed up.
I would literally I would meditate. Like I'd meditate before, right?
Yeah.
So I'd do breathing exercises and then think about like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Okay, I want to feel this certain way. And so I was like preparing myself. Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. Like this was just like me. Like it's not. No one taught me this. You know? I didn't see this anywhere. I was just like, okay. I think I had read stuff where like a lot of religions or some religions do take hallucinogenics or whatever, maybe something to get themselves outside of their body, right? And so I guess that's probably the way I looked at it. And
it almost reminds me like those sleep tanks.
Yeah, for sure. Because that's
I don't know.
The sleep or the
they're not
deprivation.
Called sleep, deprivation tanks. You know, because a lot of people have crazy experience in those.
Yeah, and so it was like I don't know. I just remember thinking like, wait a minute, like I know looking back on it, you know, like that feeling. Like I know I've felt those feelings in other ways, but it's not just that. Like that was probably one thing that kind of helped me. Like I guess get into like that realm. I don't know of like thought, you know, like and get those feelings of like whoa. Obviously, you know, the weed would help you get those feelings.
Yeah.
But
it gives you a little nudge towards that direction.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then there's other times where like nothing, you know, just like, just myself, like sober, no outside elements, and what I would do instead of praying, because you know, like I said, I grew up praying a lot, but anytime that I would pray, I would be asking for something.
Yeah.
And so that's where the problem, I think, where I wouldn't really feel too much. But the times where I felt like that similar time where I wasn't asking for something, I was more like asking for guidance. That time when I was on my knees, I was asking for guidance and I got that feeling, right? The other times where I had that similar feeling is when I would not ask for anything. I would give gratitude for what I had, for what I was experiencing. You know, like I just would give gratitude and not ask for anything in return. Just be super grateful for that moment. And a lot of times it was by myself. But then I'd get this overwhelming feeling where like...
Was it always a feeling or did you ever see anything?
No, it was... Well, I guess the best way... I didn't see anything physically. I think everything... If I think about it, everything seemed enhanced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like I could... It's not just me looking... I've talked about this before. Where like, it's not just me looking at this tree. I can see what this tree is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that same feeling. So like when I'm giving this gratitude and like... Oh, this is another way that I've explained it to other people, right? I literally imagine... This is when I was more religious too. Imagine God, okay? Literally looking down on you on that very moment. So I would imagine myself in wherever I was, right? Yeah. Being zoomed out, okay? Out into space, out into this universe, and then it was God. So it was like almost like God looking. I was looking in God's point of view. This is how I explained it before, right?
Is this always on the hallucinogens or this is just sober?
There's lots of times where it was, and when it was like when I was stoned, it was way more intense because you'd get zoomed out, okay? Yeah. And then once you realize once I realized like okay, like holy cow, like I'm itty bitty, and it was always like a feeling of gratitude, like oh thank you for this life. You know what I mean? And like I said, I felt like God was literally looking at no one else but me at that very moment, and at that very moment, everything just shot right back down, and so like put everything into perspective. And when I was stoned, it was overwhelming. Yeah. But when I wasn't, it was like that's when everything felt like enhanced.
So
right?
what would be the preparation to achieve this? Say without weed or anything, like do you sit in a quiet room, lights off?
No, so I think it's like a lot of gratitude, right? It's all mental.
So you're like actually speaking then, or thinking?
Just
in your
feeling,
head,
like feeling. But it has like like thinking about it, like it had to be like not just one day of feeling grateful. It'd be like a week. You know what I mean? Where I'm like almost practicing being grateful, and then you like sit there and think about like how good life is. Yeah. You know, and even though you have all these other like variables that may not be good, you know, but being grateful in that moment.
Yeah,
it wasn't too much prep. It was like almost like unconsciously like prepping. Like it just would happen. And to tell you the truth, I haven't had that feeling in a while.
I had a weird experience one time, and I don't know if this was actually from God or this was just from my environment, kind of like how you're explaining and where I was and what was happening at the time. So I think I was 17, and I went to a church camp.
Okay.
You know, it's called Camp Helaman. It's by Wolf Mountain.
It's like east, yeah.
Yeah. Is it by Pineview?
I think it is, yeah. Maybe like kind of going towards.
Yeah.
It's like in the middle of the canyon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like a little place up there, and it's like for 3 days, and it's like a really spiritual, church guided camp. Like you do these different activities, and everything means something. And one of the activities is they put you in the woods, or like there's this giant field, and then to the side of the field is like this giant woods, you know. And they put a blindfold on you, and they don't tell you anything. All you do.
That sounds scary.
They just walk you out there. Yeah, almost sounds weird in a way.
Right?
Like a cult.
Almost cultish.
Yeah, almost cultish. And
Yeah.
this was just like an activity or exercise, you know. And you're blindfolded, and you can't see nothing. And you could hear the birds, you could hear the wind and the animals, you could feel the tall grass in your fingertips, you know. And have you ever seen the movie Gladiator?
Yeah. I mean, I can't really.
Yeah, so there's a scene in the end where he dies and he goes to the heaven that the Romans believed in.
Okay.
And he's like kind of like walking through the field, like with moving his hands through the tall grass.
Yeah.
Kind of felt like that. You know, I was kind of like walking. I don't really want to walk because I was kind of scared too. And out of nowhere, like rock and roll music started to play, like on these little stereos, and it was like people were carrying these rock and roll music like on their shoulders.
Do you remember what songs?
It was like AC/DC and all that, you know. Good music, by the way. And they were like, run, and it'll catch your attention, and you're blindfolded, and you're like looking around, and some people they start following the rock and roll music, but if you listen very quietly, you listen to like people singing church music.
Okay, like hymns and stuff.
Hymns, yeah, like in the distance, like very quietly.
That's crazy. So it's almost like the rock and roll music is like the adversary.
Yeah, it was trying to distract you, not so you couldn't hear the people singing.
Music.
Yeah, and I think it was playing on another stereo, or I can't remember if people were actually singing, or it was just played on a CD.
Yeah, that's kind of intense.
And then so you're so lost, right?
Yeah.
You're blindfolded. You're hitting all these trees. I mean, you're getting cut. You're getting cut up.
Dang.
You're falling down. You're bruising. You're
Dangerous.
twisting your ankle. Yeah, it's pretty dangerous. And then you start walking towards the hymns, the hymn music, you know? And then these angels, people act as angels that say, well, then you have this kind of gets creepy. Like, so an angel, so they would have these actors.
This is crazy. Just at a camp?
Yeah, dude.
This sounds like a regular camp.
Yeah, right? And so, you guys should try it. It's actually pretty great, dude. It's a crazy experience.
Yeah,
So you have these angels, and they come and whisper in your ear, like, hey, you're heading on the right track. But then you have these devils, like actors as devils. It's like, don't listen to that. Turn the other way.
Oh, really?
Dude,
Wow,
it was
dude.
scaring the shit out of me, bro.
That's kind of nuts, dude, because that's almost like, I don't know, you're like almost trying to program these kids into thinking this way, right?
Well, I'll get to the point where I'm going. And so it's like, you're lost. Like the actors that were playing the devils, they're like, you're lost. Turn around, go this way. But they were speaking kind of in a mean voice, you know, because they're actors. And the angel's like, no, listen to my voice. And someone will grab your hand and walk you. But when, like, the devils grab your hand, it's, like, hard. And, like, they grab your arm kind of hard and start, like, pulling
Like
on
aggressive?
you. Aggressively. And then finally they lead you up to the woods. Okay? And
Still blindfolded.
you're still blindfolded the whole time. Once you make it to the woods, the angel grabs your hand and puts it on a rope. And the rope is supposed to represent
The rod.
that rod, the iron rod, you know. And you're walking through the woods and you're running into bushes, thorns, everything. And there's this one part, and it goes for a while too. And the whole time you have the angels guiding you. But then you have the actors that play the devils or the demons. They're trying to distract you to let go of the rope. And at one point, I got stuck. There's something in my way, like something giant, right? And in my mind, I thought it was a tree. So I was like, I could just let go of the rope real quick and reach around the tree and grab it on the other side. I did that. Dude, on the rope disappeared completely, dude. So I was like, crap, dude. I let go of the rope. Not because I was tempted to by these actions, like, oh, I'll lead you the way, hold on to my hand or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, crap, dude, I made a mental error, you know?
Yeah.
I was overthinking, and I couldn't find the rope, dude, for like a good 10 minutes. I was like, holy crap. And I was getting super lost. I started to walk everywhere. Like, dude, I just dug myself in a hole. And then the angel, they come, they help you, they get you back on the rope, you know? Mm-hmm. And I grabbed the rope. And luckily, the person that was by me was nice, the angel, because they let some people just sit in the woods by themselves. Like if they let go of the rope, they just sat there.
You're gonna learn a lesson today.
Yeah, I should have let go of the iron rod. You know? And well, the whole time the music gets louder.
Is it going?
It's going, and you're getting really emotional. And I started to cry through my blindfold. Okay?
Dang.
And once you get to the end, they say, you made it. So they said, and I was like cut up, dude. I hit so many branches and trees, and I was so tired. And it was like up a steep hill. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like just with trees. It was like an incline like this, and you're going up like super steep hill with all these like forests, you know, very very thick forest. Yeah. And once you make it to the top, your bishop hugs you, and he said, "Brother Tingy, you made it," and he hugged me, and I was crying pretty bad at this point, you know, and the music's super loud, like you made it to heaven.
Dang.
And when he hugged me, dude, I saw. Like I'm blindfolded, my eyes are closed, and I'm crying. Mm-hmm. I saw a freaking light, like trying to. It looked like a firework, like going off, like in my mind, and it almost seemed like you know that painting. There's a painting of Jesus where he's like descending from the clouds. So it looked like that.
Like beams of rays, kind of like that picture back there.
Yeah, like beams of rays. So where Jesus, in my mind, I was seeing, like, not really, they almost looked like clouds, but it wasn't. It's like clouds of light almost. And in the middle, like Jesus wasn't in the middle. There's like this beam, like a super bright electricity light, and it was so intense, dude. It was going off, and my bishop at the time was hugging me, and it was just like flashing, boom, boom, boom.
That's crazy,
dude. And my eyes were closed, and I was like, I never seen anything like that. And then you take off the blindfold, and you go sit down, and you gotta wait for everyone to show up. And the whole time I was like, dude, what the heck was that, man?
Yeah.
Like I saw it.
Did you tell anyone?
You're the only person I ever told. So, yeah.
That's crazy.
And but then I was thinking later on in my life, you know? So at the time, you know, I guess I'm 50-50, you know? I was like, was that just because of all the hype or the build-up beforehand? And my mind did that to me?
That it created that?
Or was it actually something from God, you know? But it's a funny thing as we get older, you know, go through life, our opinions change quite a bit.
Yeah.
We're constantly like on a roller coaster.
Yeah. Do you want to know something funny, dude? That has always stayed with me since I was a kid. One time, Kendall, I think was like in his teens. Kendall, I think it was after high school maybe. And I think my mom asked Kendall to give me some advice. And what Kendall told me was that be prepared, because every year from now on, every single year, your opinions change and your mind change. Every year. And like, it stuck with me, dude. It's crazy, guys.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's always stuck with me. Yeah, it's always stuck with me. Yeah, I remember him telling me that. And then me telling other people that same thing. But that was just a side note.
Yeah, interesting thing about that is because when I look at my own life, so right after my mission, I was really spiritual. Okay, before my mission, I was getting pretty spiritual because I knew I was going to go on a mission.
Yeah.
But before that, I was more like whatever, you know.
Let's do this.
Through time, yeah, I'm not as spiritual as I was back then, you know. I guess you could say that the flame inside me started to dim a little bit. But yeah, I noticed, the more I grow older, say 1 year, I'm really into the Bible. And then next year, like, nah, I don't care. Yeah, I'm not into it. Yeah, it's like constantly up and down, like a roller coaster. I guess it's whatever just catches my interest at the time.
Yeah.
Because I had a friend, and he really wanted to talk about Book of Mormon doctrine or whatever this year, and I was like, dude, I'm not
Can't do it.
I'm not interested at all. Like,
really?
If you want to talk about basketball, I could really get into it, you know.
Yeah.
But if you would have asked me that when I was 21, I could have I would have went deep into it, you know.
Yeah. Why do you think that is? Like what?
I don't know. I think it's just
What experiences, I guess, has caused?
because there
that
has to be a
separation.
cause, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like also like just the more you learn, the more knowledge you get.
Yeah.
And you start putting things together and seeing other people's perspectives. It just changes the way that you think.
Well, another example. So, like as a teenager, being in the LDS church, you know, so when I was like 16, 17, say like premarital sex, it was like super bad.
Yeah, you're going to hell. You're going to burn.
Like, that's way bad.
Yeah.
But now I'm like 26, like, is it really that bad?
I should have done way more.
Yeah, it should take a better. But I mean, that's just an example. I think as we get older, I don't know, we just stop caring less. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you think about it,
but that's not everyone, though.
No, yeah. I mean, think about it. You know, most religion is driven by fear, and so maybe you lose that fear. You know what I mean? Maybe it's not like you don't care. It's just you're not afraid anymore. I mean, like if, like, you know, you go and, you know, something small as drink coffee. Yeah. Okay, it's really not that intense. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or, you know, have premarital sex where that's one thing I really does not make sense in my brain. Literally, it's in our, like, it's DNA. Yeah, that's being human. That's what being human is. Like, there's a vagina and there's a penis, and they're meant to go together. Yeah. And for people to say that, like, oh, you have to go and do this for that to happen, like, no, that's what's gonna naturally happen.
From the religious point of view, I guess, because from Christian point of view, is they say like the natural man. So being human, we have these feelings, you know, like we feel like we should do those things. So in, like, say in the Bible, Jesus talks about like the natural man. What is it?
Is an enemy to God.
Yeah, the natural man is an enemy to God because we're giving into our natural feelings of how we were created, and to be Christian is to control that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like, let's talk like really quickly about Christianity. I can't say it.
Christianity.
Yeah, Christianity. So someone once told me like what about the guy that practices Buddha his whole life and he's a great man, and like, does he not get into heaven? You know?
I mean, that's a big question. Yeah, for sure.
But the thing is, like, say he's perfect, you know, he practices Buddha all life, he's great, he does charity, does everything right, you know, and then, like, does he not get into heaven? But the truth is, no one exists like that. Like, we all make mistakes.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. There's
No one's perfect. The only perfect person was Jesus. You know, and so that's why. So when Christian beliefs kick in, that's why people go to the Christian world. So let me ask you a question. Do you think someone that's done something wrong, do you think they should pay the price for what they've done? Say someone steals a TV from you. Do you think they should be caught? You know?
I mean, there should be a consequence, but it wouldn't be
there
a
should
consequence to fulfill my want. You know what I mean? Like, for them to be like punished because I want them to.
But you think they should do something to redeem what they've done, right? Say,
I think it should be.
They shouldn't just go free.
Yeah, it should definitely, like, because if that happens, then they're just going to continue to do it, right?
Yeah.
They'll just repeatedly do it. So then I think there should always be a consequence, so that it doesn't, like, I guess, enable repeat behaviors, right?
Yeah. So the second question. So think about your life and think of all the bad things you've done. So now we're in a problem. Because I agree, so if someone does something wrong, they should make up for it. But
you know, honestly, like, I guess I kind of believe in karma in that sense, where, like,
it goes around, comes around.
Yeah, for sure. Because I feel like it kind of has, in a way, like, in, like, different. I mean, I guess we could just connect, like, frick, this is happening because I did that.
So now think of yourself. Yeah, exactly. So think of yourself. I think of myself. Like, of course I've made a lot of mistakes. You know, I've lied, I've cheated, I've done. Everyone does it. But from the answer of our first question, it's like, crap. Now we're in trouble. You know, something should happen to me. So in karma, crap. Did I lied to that one guy? I called into work and I said I was sick. No, but I just really wanted to play basketball that night. You know, it's like, crap. Well, I lied. You know, so in my mind, it's like, crap. Okay. I do not need anything bad to happen to me right now at this moment, but I deserve it. So in the Christian belief, it's like this. You go to the judge, say you committed a crime, okay? And you know you have to pay for it. So the judge is like, hey, you got to do 5 years in prison. So think about your situation, like, crap, okay, I got a wife, I got a kid, I got another one on the way. How am I supposed to work? How am I supposed to pay? You're going to be devastated. Yeah. But then the judge all of a sudden he says, or we could just pardon you.
Yeah.
Now, which one would you take? The pardon.
Obviously the pardon.
So in the Christian belief, that pardon would be because of Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, paying for your sin, you know. And so, I mean, Christian belief is, I think, is number one in the world.
I think so.
If
not top 5.
Yeah, probably top.
I mean, I think most religions are based in Christianity. I think.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Western.
I think a lot of religions have like parts of the truth, you know.
Yeah.
But they don't have the whole thing. And I kind of think it. What is it? There's a thing about like the elephant. Whoa. Uh-oh. Yeah. Yeah, it's like this thing about the elephant. So you have like 5 people that are blindfolded, and one grabs the tail, and it's like, oh, it's a rope. I'm holding a rope. Or one grabs the trunk, and it's like, oh, I'm holding a snake. And one grabs the horn or the tusk. It's like, I'm holding a spear or whatever. And so I think it's like that's like an example of all these religions touching the elephant.
Yeah.
But they don't know what it is, you know?
Yeah.
But the person that's standing away from the people that are blindfolded, they could see the actual elephant. It's like, no, it's not a rope, it's an elephant. And I think that leads into what Christians believe. It's like, okay, your religion, you have some of the truth, you know? But from my point of view, I see the whole picture. And, I don't know where I was going with this.
I mean, I see it.
Yeah.
See, like,
and
I guess my views would be me looking at this person that's not blindfolded, looking at this elephant and seeing the background of this elephant
Okay.
and be like, yeah, you think that's the picture, but really
There's something behind it.
so much more
Yeah.
to it.
There's a herd of elephants.
Yeah.
Or a tiger.
There's lots of all these other animals around here.
Yeah.
You know, all these different ecosystems. There's little microscopic bacteria.
Yeah.
I guess that's a way to explain my view.
Yeah. So your point, you mentioned it.
And I'm not
so
saying
you're
like, I know more. You know, it's just
Yeah.
like it's way. The elephant is way too simple. It's,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like and when we're looking at it, it's like it's an elephant, but everyone else thinks it's this. You know, this and this and that.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, like it's not just an elephant. There's so much more that you don't even see. You know what I mean? That you literally the eyes view cannot see. That's the way I look at it.
That's pretty interesting. I think, funny thing is too, is that I think as we grow older, I don't know if we become like deeper thinkers, because I thought
I think so.
like crazy stuff too before, especially like about universe and
I mean, that's another big thing.
the science part of it's really intriguing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of
Making music.
Yeah, there's
they're singing together. Yeah, I think the science part of it's really intriguing. I mean, like space itself is just
insane.
so much mystery to it.
I think I told you this before, but like you know, in the religious point of view, I guess science is man's way of trying to explain God's creations. If that's what how we're gonna word it, it's man's way of explaining God's creations.
Yeah.
Right. Because I mean, you think about how complex, and that's why all these religions or this one religion, whatever, just doesn't make sense. Because just the Earth is so complex, and then you expand that into the solar system, and then expand that into, you know, the galaxy, and then expand that into like the universe, and then there's more than the universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's way too complex for it to be that simple. Or, you know, but maybe it's not. Maybe that's the way that creation is meant to be. Like, it's supposed to look so complex and people try to figure it out, but really it's like so simple. You know?
Yeah, like
maybe.
Like God made the world in 7 days. Yeah, that's pretty simple, right there.
Yeah, that's pretty.
But
break it down.
Well, we're at an hour and 40 minutes.
Dang,
so
that's solid.
This will be the longest podcast I've ever done.
Oh, really?
But
well, hopefully it was a good one.
Yeah, hopefully the kids' noise in the background
I'm
wasn't
sure,
so loud.
I'm sure it'll annoy some listeners, but
you just hear this music, do 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 do.
Little kids screaming.
Yeah.
Things getting thrown.
But
hey, this is different. You know, this is different. It's not like I said, a traditional podcast.
And I hope we could do a lot more of these too. We could talk about anything.
Hey, if you're down, I'm
always down.
Let me know. Let's plan it. Cause I told Devon, like, there's something I wanted to do. I was so stoked.
Dude,
I was telling people like throughout the week, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this podcast with my buddies Saturday. I'm excited.
Yeah. Dude, all you need to do is buy a mic and then YouTube.
Yeah.
And then there's like ways you could get on iTunes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is almost over my head.
Maybe I'll look into it and then we can like collaborate.
Yeah, then I could be a guest on your podcast.
That'd be super cool. That'd be super cool. Let's think of a name. Like Dad's. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dad's podcast. I don't know.
Yeah. So our podcast, or
no
I say
mas.
our podcast because I try to get my family into it. You know, like I don't want to always be the host. You know.
Yeah.
But
they're just like keep pressing.
But the exercise man is quick stories like. It's more of like a running joke. Like there was a ghost that lived in my grandma's basement, and he would mess with the exercise equipment. And there was the exercise man is downstairs. And so my idea was every time I go to my grandparents, we would go downstairs and do a podcast with one of my cousins or aunts or uncles. And just call it doing it with the exercise man because he's downstairs with us, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you should do it. I think you would be really good at it.
Yeah, we should do it again. Seriously.
And I actually, funny story. I invited Nathan to come tonight too, but he said he couldn't. So.
Let's do that at your place.
Oh yeah, we got my new apartment. So.
Or we could do it here, whatever.
Yeah, either way works. But thanks for coming on to the podcast.
Thanks for having us.
Mostly you.
And thanks for everyone for listening. So that's it. Yeah. Okay, I'll stop it now.
That was fun.
Okay, well, not an hour 40. You got 5 seconds to hour 40. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, an hour 40. World record. I don't know who's gonna listen to it for that long, but all right.
Oh, where's